All right, welcome back, guys, to another episode. It's me to you. So we're happy to be here with you guys and bring a unique topic that we think will be interesting to you to help you throughout your process of life, wherever you may be. Baby and I went for a run, and when we go on runs or any type of workout for us, it allows us to get deeper into our esoteric thought, our growth, development to improve ourselves. So, baby, midway through the run, looked over at me and said, "A topic should be learn how to develop your muscle making or your decision making muscle." So, we want to talk to you about how to develop your decision making muscle and what that means and how to go about that process. So, because this is her brilliant idea, her brilliant topic, I'm gonna let her start, and then I'll jump in and chime in for what I think is best. Baby, I'll let you get the
Thank you so
platform.
much. Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hope you guys listen to another podcast because every podcast we talk about something you can see and you can understand how much, as a person, as a couples, as a two-person, we grow up. About our confidence, about the topic we're talking about even my English is getting so improved. Woo! I'm so happy. That was one of the things I all the time wanted to improve, which is my English. But since I didn't go to relationship with Mark, I was okay because actually I didn't need to talk very well English. But in relationship with Mark, I have to improve my English because first his English. So this is the country he was born, so this is the first language for him. So first I have to improve my language, English, and you can see every podcast is getting much more better. This is so you guys can. I wanna just be with us for growth. As any step up, any podcast you can see we grow, and I will be so happy if we grow together. So now Mark said, please get the main thing, the main thing. So I was thinking about my life, and I say which kind of things it makes me much more happy, which kind of decision is makes me much more powerful, what happened for my life till now. And I found out everything I have now, and I everything the person I am, the person I am now, it just comes from the hard day, which is it's pushed me to make very hard decisions. And I think make a decision is look like a muscle, as a muscle. So if you want to grow your muscle, first of all, you have to damage. You have to push your muscle. You have to actually officially you make your muscle damage for growth. And think decision is look like muscle. Sometimes you have to make a very, very painful decision. This is the things it makes your muscle much more grow. And if you look at it yourself and you look at your life, you will see your life grow when you make a very, very painful decision. So it's happened even in my life. These days in my country is not a good situation. The internet, it's cut totally in my country. I had about 300 clients in my country. Now, not zero. I have some clients from another country, but 99% I lose my financial. This situation, it brings me that moment when I start for my online coaching, COVID time. So I didn't believe about like online coaching. I hate this. It's very boring. Online is very boring. Face to face. No, you have to, as a coach, you have to work hard. COVID is coming. And that hard situation, it's actually pushed me to make a decision. I didn't want, but I have to. I have to survive my life. I have to make money. This time is exactly like that moment. This is like I have to make a decision. What can I do now? So this muscle, which I improve it to make your decision fast. Make your decision, make your muscle. I wanna make it. I have to do something. And how much is your muscle is strong, can respond faster, much more powerful. And I decision to do something else, to to start for another business. And I'm so happy. Is it very new, but it's worth it. Because my muscle memory from my decision side reminds me this is gonna be good. And I'm so happy for it. Yeah, baby. That was all the topic.
So she said it, I guess.
Yeah.
So she gave you her side of it. So from my side, everything she said is correct. I agree with her. I will say it doesn't always have to be painful decisions.
Yeah.
The same thing about when you exercise, every workout, because it's no way in the world every workout is going to be intense. There's no way your body can handle that and sustain that. The repetitions come by staying diligent and disciplined on the consistency of even small workouts will help you for when the hard workouts come. You have now built a repetition and you built a practice of understanding how to stay with it. So it doesn't always have to be painful decisions that need to be made. Her story is absolutely correct because she did go through a painful period during COVID. She was able to now reflect on that and bring that same energy to this present moment right now where she's going through a real tough time right now. So she knows she can get through it because she reflected back to COVID. But she also does things daily in small doses of decisions that she has to make. She started off by telling you a decision about her English. It was a decision she made to be in a relationship with me, an English speaking man, that, and it wasn't a tough decision, but she made a decision that
Yeah.
she wanted to learn and be with me and
This
learn
is
her
the one of the
English.
things.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm saying that that is a decision. It's not a painful decision, but it's a decision. But because she's still making a decision and something that is seemingly difficult, that repetition of her doing that again only helps her when she has to make a decision of starting a new business. Because I know it always seems like you need something traumatic to happen to you in order for you to make something big or make this big change. But like she's saying, and like the title says, it's the repetition of putting in small practices of making decisions on a daily basis that are tough decisions. So if you are a person who exercises and you want to lose 15 kilos or, 15 pounds,
Yeah.
by you making a decision, you normally work out, say, in the evening, and you've been doing that for the past 2 years and you still have gained weight. By you making a decision to move your workouts from the evening to the morning, that is a difficult choice because you're used to the comfort of working out in the evening, right? But now you're switching it to the morning. By you staying disciplined with that and staying focused on I'm going to now work out in the morning, seemingly benign decision, but it still is impacting you because you're saying I'm changing from what's comfortable in the evening to work out now in the morning. And by you doing that, you're putting in the reps of building your decision making muscle so you can now take that example over to other things. We always talk about between she and I, it's not the big thing. So a lesson that I heard, and I've shared this with other people, and that I use for my day to day. A tornado will come through a city and wipe out the city, right? It'll come through in just a few minutes, you know what I'm saying, and just tear up a city, right? And you look at the destruction of trees knocked over, power lines knocked down, and you look at that and you say, this big thing messed up the city. And if you go into the city records and the city financials, that there's you see how much money they had to replace those trees and those wires. It might be a couple $100,000, maybe $2 million, $3 million. But where they spend the most money is if you look at the termites, little microscopic termites who are eating away at the foundation of homes and buildings and bridges and that. They have to spend millions and millions of dollars to fix those because what the termites, a small thing, the small microscopic insect is eating away at the foundation of the city, right? So it's not the big thing of the tornado that's going to do the most damage. It's the little microscopic thing that does the most damage financially to a city. So you take that analogy and you recognize it's not the big things. Like I said, it's not the pain of something traumatic and you got to make a tough decision. It's the small, minute decisions you make consistently when it comes time for you to make a tough decision, a painful decision, as my baby said. If you've put in the reps, you have built that muscle to be able to make that decision and you know how to stick to it because you've done it on other things. All right. So I
Yeah.
hope my little soliloquy helped you understand my side of it. She already gave you her side of it. Baby, what would you say to them? How can they, what kind of tools can they work on or apply to their day to day to help them make decisions that are seemingly difficult, like changing their workout from a comfortable afternoon to the morning, or like, starting a new business like you did, not because they need money, just because they've been wanting to do it. You know what I'm saying? How would you tell them what type of tools do you use to help you make that change?
So this is a lot of things. So as a person, I work on myself a lot, and I found out it's all of them is comes from my confidence. Maybe for you is different. Maybe for you is much more about your fear. Maybe for you is much more about your limitation, about your family, about your society, about this and that. For me, it comes from my confidence and my fears before. And I found out my confidence to do something and I judgment I have before to do something is too high. Before I do something, I judge myself to maybe, oh, is maybe lose, maybe it's not happen. Maybe I lose money. Maybe I scare of rejection. So so and all of this things it comes when I decide to do something. So since you are not decide to do something, you will never understand. You have a lot of weakness points, which is you have to work on it. And this is good. And I said, the only things you can understand, the only way when you don't have the tools, when you don't have a guidance, when you don't have money, when you don't have nothing to telling you what you can do, that moment it's just go for it and do it to understand what's going on with you. So there is no tools. Don't looking for tools. Don't looking for something like what should I do? Just do it. This is the easiest tools, the easiest way. You go for it, you understand, you put yourself there, you scare is okay, you don't have money is okay, you are tired is okay, but you are there, you already inside the darkness. So you already one step forward. You already start a lot of things. So, and after that, slowly, because you fear, sometimes it look like when you are at the darkness, what you do, you're running to you just want to run away from the darkness. You escape the darkness. So this is because you actually you use at your fear, you use at your scare side. Sometimes you have to put yourself at the darkness. So the one of the things it's like, uh a lot of times, not a lot of times before, I didn't have that much confidence to go to relationship with another country, another language because of because I couldn't speak very well English. So it avoid me to go to new relationships. So for everyone, it's different. But but what? But if I wanna telling you which kind of tools you wanna use,
There you go.
I told already. First, you have to jump and dive in your sign. What is the reason I'm not decide? And you find maybe it's because of money. And after that, you start to make much more money.
Okay, I have to jump in
Yeah.
because there are tools. Everybody is going to try because there's people out there who have that. She's one of those. I'm one of those. We know how to just jump into doing things. But if you're a person out there who doesn't know how to do that because you've been wanting to and you've been hesitant, The tools are you listen to people like us, encourage you to do it. You listen to certain podcasts that are going to change your mindset. You go read books on autobiographies of people who have done things that were fearful to them. Because the reality is fear, confidence, or lack of confidence is human nature across the board, no matter male or female, no matter what part of the world you're from. These are going to be the factors that keep us from doing anything, no matter who you are. But the tools, again, like you said, building the decision making muscle is who you surround yourself with, what you're listening to, and then what you practice. These are the tools you have to work on. If your peer group or your friends around you are people who don't take risk, are people who are going to be negative when you say you want to do something, the tool is you get away from those people. You have to go talk to people who are doing the things that are seemingly scary or fearful, and they would tell you how they work through that process. She gave an example about, can you scratch my back, baby, real quick? I'm sorry. Right there, real hard, real hard, no, right there, a little higher. Sorry, guys. These mosquitoes, a little higher. Uh, these mosquitoes are getting me. She talked about if you don't have money. Yes, it's easy to say just go do it. If you don't have money, you don't have money. So where do you start? Because I've been homeless twice. I started by first off asking people around me, could they loan me some money? Money I knew I didn't have at the time to pay them back. But what I did was I knew I would get money soon because that money was going to help me get a job. That money helped me get a job. I saved portions of my income so I could pay them back. I paid them back and I saved and I couldn't live and do the things like you see us doing now. We're talking right here from Bali, Indonesia. But it was years I couldn't do things until I had the right money to do what I needed to do. So yeah, we can say just go do it. But how do you do it? The tool is if you don't have money, you ask someone, can you give me a loan? You got to lower your pride and you have to recognize you got to pay them back. If you do have a job, you quit spending the money that you don't have to spend on things you don't need. So if you are working and you say bring in, for example, I don't know, $1,000 a month, and your cost of your living is 1,500. Well, you may have to move, go live with someone that you don't want to live with, so you can now, but pay cheaper price so you can start to save some of your money. These are the tools, and these are decisions you have to make. You have to make the decision to lower your pride to ask for a loan if you don't have money. You have to make a decision to cut back on living higher above your means. If you don't have money, live below your means, right? These are decisions you have to make, and these are the tools you have to implement in order to make sure you're able to live the life you want to live. So there are tools that once you take these action steps, that is you, like she said, just doing it, but this is how you do it in the examples we gave, okay? Because people have a hard time, and I know because I've been there. You have a hard time saying, okay, I want to do this thing, and because I've been doing this over here consistently for so long, if I'm not doing this, then I feel like I can't do this thing. But really, just by you listening to things that are different than what you're used to listening to, that's putting you in a different mental state, so you can do the thing you want to do. Like I said, she said right, fear, confidence or lack of confidence, imposter syndrome, all these things are human nature. You're not special if you feel those things. She's not special because she went through it. I'm not special because I went through it. What makes us special though is how we grew through that and how we did learn to get tools that we had to use to get us out of those situations. Doesn't mean that we still don't face things. Doesn't mean that we still don't have puzzles. We do. But now we know how to handle those, like she just gave the example, COVID. Now she knows what she can do. Still takes effort and work, right?
Yeah.
But now you know what to do. Am I correct? Would you say those are tools? Changing
Yeah.
the people you hang around, getting out of your ego,
It's
asking
already happened
questions.
for you. It will happen for you. The people around, you don't need to worry about the people around you. So when you make a decision, which is good or not, the result is coming. The main thing is you make a decision. If is it wrong, you will learn this is not work for you. So the another steps you use another things which is works for you. So my life was full till now, as in never gonna be end, never gonna be finished, never gonna be stopped. My life was full of this kind of decision. Like every single day, I had a lot of challenge. That's why, as a 31 years old girl, I have like the things that you said. You are 45. You are more than
I'm
your age.
44.
No, no, no. My age.
Yeah, I'm 44.
40. I'm 44. I'm 44 for her.
She trying to make me old. She said 45. She trying to make
He's
me old.
decided to not go much more than
Because
his
I'm 44.
age.
Okay, she's 31.
Yes.
If I said you was
He
32, you'd be like, hey, I'm
Age
31.
is smart. He doesn't want to go more than him, you know. He wanna just steal his kingdom, which is good.
It's
It's
not
my
about kingdom. It's about
he's my king.
I'm a king
Yeah.
at 45. But I'm not 45. I'm 44. So continue. I just gotta make sure everybody's clear.
Wait, only if you're 44, you have to be like 60.
Hmm?
I'm 30. I'm 31, but my knowledge is 44. You are 44, so your knowledge should be 60.
My knowledge is my
Understand?
knowledge. I don't know about the age. My knowledge is my knowledge. Yeah, and hopefully I'm using it right. That's all. So whatever the age is the age, but I am only 44. I'm just
Everyone
not
is
45.
60 can understand what you say much more better. But I wanted to say we are two different generations. The topic I'm talk, it comes from small decision, the small decision. So the topic he said, he talking about like real big businessman decisions. So when I'm talking about make your decision, I know that I don't want you make a decision, for example, to change your country to or go take a very 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 huge long when you are only 21 years old. But when he talk, he's his people, his side, much more about like his age, like 45, this kind of things. But imagine,
I'm sorry. I don't know what
imagine
my age is. Like I gave
no, no, I'm
examples.
talking about, imagine this is a person watching us, and
Yeah, I gave
he's
example.
only 18.
I gave an example for the 18-year-old. I said if you need money, this has nothing to do with age. It says
Yeah.
everything. The examples that I gave were about if you need money, you go
But
ask a
but
friend.
if he cannot get the loan, what he can
You go at you. I said I didn't say go to a bank. I said go to a friend.
yes.
We all have someone that we know, a father, a mother, a cousin, a friend. If you need money, you go ask your friend, can I get $50? Because I need $50 so I can use $20 to go get a suit or get better clothes so I can go to this job interview. My statement of what I'm talking, I didn't say go ask for $20 million. I didn't say that. I didn't say go to a bank I'm saying exactly for someone at any stage of any problem, any issue. I said if you're working out, whoever you are, whatever age you are, if you're working out in the evening and you need to lose 15 pounds because you haven't been eating right and you haven't been training intensely enough, changing to the morning. That has nothing to do with anybody's age or execution. That has to do with just anybody at any stage of life. So I'm giving examples to the reality of everybody who is out here who is trying to make that decision to do anything. And like I said, you gotta get over your ego. That doesn't matter if you're old or young. If you need help, ask someone to that because that's how you get out of the
Yeah.
situation. You start off by saying, "I'm gonna say this. I will
Yeah.
say this."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You said it does matter who you hang around because you make the decision. You will go into yes, the energy is already going to start coming to you where you'll be moving in a direction where you want to go. True enough. But just like everybody in every situation, you're still going to have doubts. You're still going to have fears. Just because you make the decision doesn't mean that along the journey, you're not going to encounter more doubts and more fears, right? You want to make sure who you're listening to, who's supporting you, is in your corner and also is going to still elevate you to get through those fears. Just because you say you want the thing, once the thing comes, that's when the responsibility and the struggle starts to happen too. When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say that? So this has nothing to do with my 44 or being because I'm not talking to anybody who's listening to this. I'm not talking about like my company. I'm going to talk, I talk to people to give me a $10 million loan so I can advance and grow and get a bigger team and get a staff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you don't have money, if you don't know how to start your health routine, you start by making the decision, I want to be healthy. But once you make that decision, you got to get around people who are healthy. You can't stay around people who are unhealthy, right? That has nothing to do with us saying you're gonna look like me or look like her. I'm not saying that. I've been doing it for 30 years. She's been doing it for 30 years herself, pretty much, exercising. I'm saying you make the decision, but once you make the decision to be healthy, you can't hang around people who are fat and drinking and eating bad food, right? Because you're gonna stay in that same space. That doesn't matter age. It doesn't matter. That matters again how good you want to be to get to help support you on the decision you made to be healthy. These are the tools that people overlook because they're like, I want to be healthy, but my people around me don't. So I say, forget it. I'm not going to do it. Right.
Yeah.
I want to make money, but I can't figure out how to do it. So I just say, forget it. I'm not going to make money. Right.
Yeah.
No, you ask, you discipline yourself, you cut back on spending more money. If I borrow that $50 from my friend, I tell my friend I'll pay him back in 1 month. That means I have to be disciplined with the money that I'm making to pay him back the 50 and make more money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, if you're not making anything, these are the tools you have to start implementing. If you're not making money, you gotta save the money that you get, and then you gotta pay back people who you borrow money from. Once you learn that, then you can go to a bank and ask for $10 million, like I can. But it took me 15 years of discipline, building the discipline and building the decision making muscle. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of learning over time to be able to do what I'm doing now. But I'm talking to everybody that's not at the position I'm in right now. Does
Yeah.
that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. 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 About me, about my life, as personality. Is what happened when I make a decision and I found out is because of the financially. I didn't borrow the money for no one that moment. Like right now, he's in my life and he take care of everything. I'm so appreciative of this beautiful man, gentleman. He's really, really good gentleman. He take care of everything, and I'm really appreciate. Which is right now and financially, I get problem because of my country getting problem, and I don't have clients. But before that moment, COVID time, I decide to work harder. I decided to work harder and I opened my online business that time. And I actually, this decision, which is comes from not, not the things I want, it's pushed me to decide to work online. And after this, I didn't want back to my before COVID time. I start to online coaching. I start to my online business and my life it changed. I changed my country. I start for my business. I travel more. I was so free. I was not a person to have to just be there. And that moment when the COVID is came, I had gym. I had a big gym. I just opened. I just get the loan. I opened the gym. I bought a lot of things. After 3 months, the COVID is came, so I have to close my gym with I lose a lot of money. And but what should I do? I have to make my decision. And that moment, anything is happening in my life, I said, it's just coming to make me much more stronger. Now I have to make my decision. What can I do? What can I do with this? This is the very, very powerful question you can ask at yourself any time. But this just question, you actually call your muscle, the decision muscle, and you say, what can I do now? My relationship is like this. What can I do now? What this situation is brings to me to teach me. So what can I do? Should I listen? Should I learn? What should I do? And after that, you realize is that the answer is coming, the answer is coming, and you are much more connected to yourself. And we were talking about like why people get problem or why people get anxiety, why people want to kill themselves, why people want to stop working, or the life is not beautiful for them anymore. And I said because they didn't enough wrong decision. Because when you make a wrong decision, actually, but you have to be very careful because the wrong decision is it's you have to be with this perspective. Okay, this is just not work for me. This is I learn is not work for me. Next step, I'm not do this because it's not work for me. So you should be your consciousness should be very very on at the same page for you. Not like you do or somebody drinking and this is drop and I say, oh, I'm so stupid. No, not like this. You have to be very careful. So the things I want to say, when you do something, when you start something, If your perspective is, I'm going for good, I'm going for learn, this is brings a lot of opportunity for me. You just not do it. You're learning. You go with experience. You go for uh, be much more powerful. You will not scare anymore. You will not afraid anymore, and your muscle is growing bigger and bigger and bigger for decision. I believe.
Yeah, you said a couple of things in there that's kind of a lot. You say when people make let me be clear on what let us be clear because you were saying when people who commit suicide or
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah. Because
you said it because they
that's
may
yeah,
want
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know why? Because life is not challenging anymore for them. For me, if my life it's like I cannot do nothing for my life is gonna be so boring. You know. So I decide to do this. I decide to do this. I decide at the same time 10 things. Maybe 9 things it's not happen. The same thing, the result I want. The result I want. But this is push me to do something. And I feel I'm alive.
Mm,
Um
eh,
I feel I am do something. I feel
so you saying let me just make sure. So
it's
you
about
saying
me.
someone who commits suicide. You said it's because life is not challenging anymore. Is that what you
Life
said?
is not responsible because when you do something, actually you are responsible about to do something. You are responsible to do something. About suicide is completely different. I'm
But
talking
that's what you brought
about
up as an example.
because when you don't have nothing to do, you feel so boring.
No, that's not true at all. What you're saying is
You get anxiety, you get
no,
stress.
that's not what you. That's not true at all. Not when you talk about the suicide example. That's not it at all. Because people literally the reason why a lot of time people commit suicide is because they're trying to do something and it didn't turn out the way they wanted to, and they get depressed and they get into a state of frustration that they and overwhelm
Yeah,
that they can't see the other side that it can be okay. They can't see that. All they see is despair and frustration and anger with themselves. So it's not that they weren't trying, they weren't working hard. They literally were a lot of times, and they don't see they don't see the outcome that they were hoping for. So, for example, my daughter who was talking about she wanted to commit suicide.
yeah.
You know, it's not that she.
Actually, about this, about her daughter, he actually speak about this topic at his YouTube. So everyone want to know that. Uh, want to know that about this situation, this social situation. You guys can go to his YouTube, the personal YouTube he has of Travel with Mark,
Hmm?
Travel
Shower Komar.
Travel with Komar. So guys, everyone know that you don't know nothing about your boyfriend
No, you're fine.
because because we have um, 3 and 4 different YouTube.
Yeah.
But you can go there and listen to this podcast. He special talk about this subject.
Thank you for that plug. I appreciate it. But in relation to our conversation about that, it wasn't because my daughter's a straight A student in college at 19 years of age. She's in university or college, as we say in the United States. She's working hard. She works 2 jobs at 19. She was dating. The relationship didn't work, but she's getting into depressive states because she's trying to do her part, and what she wants to have happen is not happening the way she sees it. So it's not about someone not, they're not life is not challenging. No, life is challenging. And it's too challenging for them a lot of times in those cases to be able to see that they're doing okay and just be patient. Like we're saying, the decision you can't beat yourself up for decisions that you made that did not work out the way you wanted it to be. A great book that I read was Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. This is why I said a tool that you can use to help you out. Because, like you said, everybody out here has to go through their own shit. We don't know what your shit is, but people have come before us and have put this knowledge, information in books, in stories, in certain movies, that type of thing. But you got to find the right tool or the right information to share. But this is a tool you can use. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. He was one of the few survivors of the Holocaust, a Jewish guy. I'm Black American. I'm reading a book on a Jewish guy, but it was a good book for me to read because he broke down step by step what he went through, being captured, uh, being put into the Auschwitz, the camp where they were killing Jews. And he talked about the decisions that he had to make. It wasn't his fault that he got captured, but he did. It wasn't his fault when they said come off the train and either go left. The people who went left went straight to gas chambers. If you made a decision to go right, you had to go into the camp and you lived a little bit longer. You didn't know what your decision was going to put you in, but what he said was what he learned, even though he was one of the few people who made it through. Whether you cause it or not, it's up to you to find your responsibility to find out what your purpose is in life and go after. And that's what she's saying when she says make the decision. But you also have to give yourself grace, whether you caused it or not, whether you made a bad decision or not, does not matter. Quit beating yourself up because you made the decision to invest this money and you lost it. You made this decision to get into this relationship with this person and they weren't the right person to get into a relationship with. Quit beating yourself up for that, meaning quit being mad at yourself for making that decision and just say, look, okay, I made this decision. Now I gotta make another decision. If you're a lady and you got into a bad relationship, get out the shit and just say, hey, chalk it up. Quit trying to villainize him. Quit trying to beat yourself up. Just move the fuck on. Get on to the next situation. It's gonna be hard. Maybe you've been with it for 5 years or 10 years or for 2 months. But take the responsibility to move on in the direction that you need to move on into so you can be better for yourself. When you do that, then like she said, when you make that decision, not one to talk about how bad he was, not talk about how bad or beat yourself up because but you stop doing those things and go down the middle lane of saying, okay, I'm just going to be here and be patient and figure out what life has for me. That's when you're making a decision to not stay in this negative state of bad energy. Okay. And this is not about, all the energy levels. This is just really about that's what she was trying to say from the beginning. Just make the fucking decision to move on with your life. Then things will start to come, but then you have to get the tools along the way to say, hey, I'm not dealing with these type of guys anymore. And in my example of a lady with a bad
Yeah.
relationship, I'm not talking to my girlfriends who say, girl, just deal with it. You're not talking to those girls. You're talking to girls who are in great
Yeah.
relationships. You know what I'm saying? Long-term relationships. You're talking women. I'm saying, sorry, not girls. We're talking women who have great relationships. You're surrounding yourself with positive books that are about good relationships and what it means. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are tools you need to do on the way. But if you want to sit here and beat yourself up because you were in that long relationship, if you want to sit here and talk about how bad, all you're doing is keeping yourself in that same
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
Get out of that. Get out of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's
So
like a muscle. Like I told you, muscle. The only way you can grow your muscle is like do something. You have to go to the gym. You have to push the pressure on your muscle.
right, and sometimes you're gonna in that
Yeah.
example, sometimes you're gonna lift too much and you strain the muscle, right? The bicep. You try to curl, you pick up, a 50 or a 30 kg dumbbell, you try to curl it and you weren't ready and you pull the muscles. Now you have to sit down for a few months, let your muscle heal.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't
Yeah.
massage it. Doesn't mean you don't put ice on. Doesn't mean you don't start off small and you never do a bicep again. No, you do a bicep curl
There
again. You
is a
just do a small weight.
different level of
Right.
decision.
Right. But I'm
Yeah.
saying though, when you make decisions, sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't happen the way in which you thought it was going to happen. You get hurt or you lose something, or you know what I'm saying? In this example, right? You made a decision. I'm gonna say it one more time. Let's not skip past this. I'm saying what you're saying, but I need people to understand. Just because you make the decision, if you haven't been exercising and you start exercising and you do something and you hurt yourself, maybe you didn't even pick up the wrong weight. You just haven't been exercising and your body wasn't ready for that weight, regardless, right? And you get hurt. Doesn't mean you stop. Doesn't mean you say, okay, I can't do this anymore, right? It
Yeah.
means you rehab, you talk to a professional that knows how to train you properly to get you into. See, these are the tools, right?
Yeah.
But if you stop and say, well, I tried it and now I can't, well, then you're never gonna get right. You get what I'm saying? So you can make the decision, but recognize that making the decision, like I said earlier, I said, when you make the decision, that's when the work begins. If you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud. Mud is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
water puddles are going to happen when you pray for rain.
Yeah.
But you can't say, okay, just because it's a water puddle or it's mud that I can't move forward.
Yeah.
No, you put on some boots. No, you put on, you know what I'm saying? You get some water repellent shoes, right? And then you walk through it. But you don't say, okay, well now damn, you made it muddy or you made it. No, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Even the wrong decision, even you understand that moment when the rain is coming and you don't like the rain, the another time you are not waste your time to pray the rain. You pray for another things. So, but this that was a wrong decision. Okay, now you understand this kind of pray for rain is not work for you because you don't like the rain. You are not ready for this.
That's what it is. You keep saying
Yeah.
wrong decision, and so what was she? Because you said this to me earlier. She said she's saying her words are still. She's not. She's saying wrong decision, but what you have to understand is, like I said, this is how you don't beat yourself up because
Yeah.
you are saying it's wrong. It's wrong, and I'm how stupid. If I'm a woman dating this guy, how stupid you start doing these type of things. Wrong. It's not about wrong.
Something you actually is not the supposed to result you want.
It didn't lead to the result that you thought.
Yes.
However, it's a what she said earlier. She said she did say this, and this want to make sure we're clear. It's
Yeah.
not about it's wrong. What she said was it's a learning situation for you. What you learn in this is okay. I said I want this relationship. I got this relationship, and he wasn't correct for me. Now you learn not to accept what we say, not red flags, all this other stuff, but you learn to say, okay, these are signs that I'm not going to accept because I've been down that road before. So you don't have to get back into a bad, but it's not wrong. It didn't give you the outcome you wanted, but you learn from it and you grow through it and then you make the changes. And even in that, like she's saying, is you're making a decision to make the changes. You have to be willing to make the decision to make the changes. You can also make a decision to stay in the pain or the hurt or the suffering of it. You can make that decision too. And most people choose to make that decision by staying in, like I said before, in the example of the woman with the bad relationship. If you talk about how bad he was to you, then you're staying in the suffering of it. You're not allowing for your energy to put you in a place of, okay, I know what he did, but what did I do? Now, what did I do? I still can't beat myself up for what I did do. What I have to do is, okay, I learn now not to do that same thing again, right? But if you beat yourself up about it, suffer in that, and again, you're still not growing from it. Okay, so it's a difference. Not about being wrong, not about it was a bad decision. It might have been the decision you wanted, but learn. And then what we always like to say in business or in anything else, you pivot. You pivot and go to different direction. That is a decision that you can make. Okay. So all she's saying is because I don't want you guys harping on these buzzwords or the highlight words like wrong, because then you're going to beat yourself up, and we don't need that. What we need is you just pivoting and making different choices that are seemingly difficult or different than the choices you made, but be okay in knowing that those are probably the right choices. And if you're a little bit of fearful of those choices, those are probably the right choices that you need to go into, because leaning into the fear, you never get, it's not about the absence of the fear. It's about understanding the fear is there, but you still walk through it. I'm afraid every day I go to the gym to get better. I get nervous about going to the gym. Every time I'm with her, even right now, as beautiful as she is, I'm afraid that I might mess it up. But I don't let that keep me from not being with her. I walk through that fear by doing the right things, by trying to listen to her, by kissing her, by telling her I love her, by buying her flowers, by her buying me flowers, by us being together. I walk through the fear as opposed to letting that fear keep me from something that's great. Does that make sense? So you lean into the fear and you never are going to be without it. You actually want that fear there because you know that you're pushing for bigger, better, well, not bigger, better. You're pushing to be the better of yourself. But when you become complacent and you don't have that fear there, then you're in a comfort state and you're not making decisions that are going to challenge you and keep you sharpened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want to stay sharpened and we want, but again, you learn this by building the decision making muscle that
Yeah.
she talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Go ahead,
When
baby.
I don't know about your life, but my life, I grow the 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 the, the steps I jump in my life. That was the from the hardest part of my life. That moment I make my decision to change, to learn, to grow, and that pain becomes like a jump for me for my life.
She keeps thinking that it's the pain things. I got to make sure you guys understand. She keeps going because again, she's 31, so she's young. She thinks it's the pain that that has got her. It's not the pain points. She can, if you notice too, she can name the major points, which we all can, that were painful, but there's normally a few points you can name. It's because she does her work every day of her going to the gym, her meditation, her, these are the reasons why when the pain points hit, she doesn't break because she's doing these small, seemingly benign things, and now it's become second nature to her. And she doesn't even recognize that she makes the hard decision by not going out partying, by not, when she was in college in Turkey, not going to a party and not sleeping around with every guy. She made those decisions when she was, because guys still want to talk to her. She just said, look, no, I got to do something with my life. Those are the seemingly small decisions that she did that built her. She was working her muscle well before the big pain point of COVID hitting, or, losing her gym. When those things happened, she was already prepared. She just didn't realize it. So I need you understanding, because I can see bigger than what she's saying, and I can articulate it better in English. She could say this in Farsi and Arabic just fine, but I need to make sure you understand what she's trying to say in English. It was not the big pain points that is why she's sitting here successful as she is right now. It's because daily she does the very small things that have become second nature to her now. She has already built her decision making habits already. So when the
This
big
is the
shit
tools
happens,
and other tools.
when the big things happen, she's already ready to now shift and this is the thing about
The
it,
small
guys.
things, the
The
habits.
small things have helped you build to be able to do that. But I'm
Yeah.
saying this is what we've been talking about. But don't get caught up with the highlight big things, because it's never that. It's always a small work that no one sees. But then everybody sees, oh, you're living in Bali. Oh, you bought this car. Oh, you bought this house. No, it's the shit that you didn't see. When I had to wake up early, when I had to go work out, when her hamstring is bothering her, she still goes and does a leg workout. When her hamstring is bothering her, she still goes for a 4 mile run, right? These are things you don't see. But now when you see her body and she's posing and taking Instagram shots and you see her in a bikini and you're like, oh, she's just trying to show off her body. No, you didn't see the work that has been put into being to make that moment look like the big picture moment. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she's made the decisions, the tough decisions on a daily basis when she's tired, didn't get rest the night before because she's stressed out. I made her mad. She couldn't sleep, but she still got up to make the decision to eat healthy, to
Yeah.
not just go out and do other things.
Yeah.
That's what built her.
Yeah, exactly. So if you be a consciousness person, if you actually work on yourself, when you see successful people as a body, as a financially, as a relationship, you will not judge them.
Can't.
You, because you understand, to bring this connection of money and life and peace in the life, there is behind this, there is too much work. But if you see someone, they are successful in relationship, financially, connection, body, health, some kind of things, it's mean you can do it as well. Or because the role model is here.
Yeah.
So sometimes go and ask them, what did you do?
And
Sometimes
that goes back to
yes,
that
talk
goes
to
back to what I was
them,
saying earlier about.
listen to them. All the psychic and all the actually the people now, they are life coach. They are actually they are coaching like a
Well, not everybody doing
psycho.
that, but yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, most of them when they have a story, story behind the things
Everybody
they do.
everybody has a story. They have
Yeah,
learned how to cultivate it and make it into a
yeah,
product. But let me say that
yeah,
goes
yeah,
what you
yeah,
just
yeah,
said.
yeah,
What you just said. Go ask them. That's my point. Those are
yeah,
tools. Because that's what I was saying earlier about when you if you don't have no money right now.
yeah,
I wasn't talking about a loan. Even when you said you did mention you went and got a loan for your gym.
yeah,
What I'm saying is by you stepping out, if you have no money to go ask a friend for $50, you are now asking, unbeknownst to you, you may not recognize it, but you're asking someone, hey, you got something. I want to learn, because if you got it, that means I can get it too. I'm not trying to take from you, but I'm
yeah,
trying to learn how to do it. And
yeah,
I learn by, if you can loan me a little bit of money, $50, I have to learn how to manage this $50 so I can grow it to 150 so I can pay you back 50 and I got 100 left. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
And I got more to deal with. That's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I agree with you
We
100%.
actually try to show this life to you. It's not about we want to show up or anything. The level of the life we have, the quality of life we have as financially, the place, the villa, the traveling we go, as all of them comes from our mindset. So we will never judge ourselves to maybe this is show off because we have this comfortable of our life. There is a work behind this and it's gonna be more and more and more, and we just want to show this level of quality of our life to you guys to understand. It's all about your perspective. It's all about the frame you actually sitting and watching about the situation. So here we have our YouTube, which is it's about our relationship. We have separate YouTube. His YouTube, it's he talking very 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 well about life, mindset, traveling, and he's so into anything he said he can explain it much more with you guys, especially for guys. And
Yours.
and I start for my course as well. This is about like wellness and mindset and confidence, and there is a lot of tools I recommend in my course to how you can be much more close to yourself, by your confidence as a woman, because my course is just more about woman.
Yeah.
Men can do this, but it's more
It's
like
about it's
because
for
it's
women.
girly.
It's,
Yes,
it's for women. Yeah, yeah. It's for
yes,
women. It's not for men. It's for women. And
it's
it's
for
good because she's a woman who disciplines and shows herself, and she also walks through the tools that she
yes,
does on
yeah.
a daily basis. And I can vouch for the fact that she does it because I live with her and I see. I mean, you can see it. You know that she
Yeah.
does it. So
Before I start for this course, I ask myself, am I deserve that level of person to teach to people? And after that, I found out actually I did all the tools to survive my life, and I'm happy. And I'm trying to show you guys about the level of relationship we had, about the life we had, about the real life. You deserve it. Everyone deserve it.
well,
With
it's not. And I'm gonna say this because I don't believe that we got to wrap up here. We'll bring another episode to you guys shortly. You only deserve what you fight for and you're willing to go for.
yeah,
Everybody thinks they deserve something, but not, life only gives you what the fuck you fight for and you work your butt for.
yeah,
And it gives you what you fight you
yeah,
for
you want.
and what you got to fight you. It ain't about nobody else. It's not about, and what she said. Reason why we never talk about anybody. If anybody is doing better than us or whatever, or even if especially they're not doing worse, like whatever that means, we appreciate everybody because well, like she said, the work that we put in is daily. Don't get it mistaken. At every level is new devils. At every level, what you ask for is going to require work to sustain that. And I think people get it mistaken. They think that just because you sit here with the $20 million home or the yacht or the Ferrari, that it doesn't come with discipline and work. Just because you got a nice body and no, this is daily. She puts in the effort for this. Her nutrition's on point. She stays away from certain things. We don't do certain things so we can maintain and sustain, but also to grow this. Same thing with our money, like she said, it's don't get me mistaken because we have to do certain things a certain way so we can sustain that. Don't look at anybody like I love what you said, baby. You're absolutely correct. And if you're judging them based on what you know, and if you know who's trying to show off, you know that. We
Yeah,
all know that. You know what I'm saying? But we're like she said, what we're trying to do is give you real time example of us going through. She just told you she lost all of her primary income earnings. That's not showing off. That's letting you know though. What she's saying is right now though she's making a pivot, and she still has money, but she's not bringing because again it wasn't her fault.
the situation I
Yeah,
have is enough to make me crazy and stress and anxiety
but she
because
doesn't do that.
I don't have no connection with my life, with my people in my country, with my family. Hopefully, my mom, she's living in Dubai now, but I have another, the rest of family, I don't have no connection.
But the whole thing is what you hear her doing, even as she's going through that no connection money, because it's right now going
We have
on.
to keep
You see what she's doing. She's bringing you content and information to help you grow, which is why you can tell she's not about showing off. She's about, again, the real life application, not when she gets makes the $10 million again or whatever it is. It's right now while the account is not at 10 million, it's far less at this particular juncture. She's still talking to you the same way as if she has a $10 million in her account. So she's walking the talk and she's talking the walk at the same time. And I hope you understand that we are doing that together and she's doing that by showing that to you guys So everything she's saying, she lives it. That's why go check out her course because it's genuine. She walks you through what to do on a daily basis to get to the outcome you're looking for. It's not just that just go do it. It's not that. It's okay. If you're trying to get into the gym, how do you get into the gym? How do you set your schedule? How do you break down your days to work out, right? How do you, if you're trying to get a better mindset, how do you get the better mindset? Maybe you do need to surround yourself or shut out people and listen to certain individuals. And then she gives, so we walk through the steps how to do this. Okay. Guys, because we got to wrap up here, baby. We appreciate y'all. We hope that you come follow us more and talk with us, but more importantly, figure out following us. Leave comments because we want to talk with you guys. We want to have conversation. We want to hear what you think. You agree? Cool. You don't agree? Cool. We're here to grow and learn. We don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? What we learn is by conversing with good people. All right. Anything you want to say to wrap it up?
Yeah, I just want to say we have much more talking with you guys. I would be much more happy if together grow, because I cannot see you, but I can feel your energy. And
If you comment to us, if you comment to, we can feel your energy.
yeah, yeah, because we are here all because of this energy, because of this energy, and I believe this energy comes from us to you, me to you, to you to me.
We appreciate it. We catch up with y'all.